So, one of the exciting features of Ramadan for me is sitting with friends and family and breaking fast together during Iftar. And I know it is customary in most households, certainly in my household, to invite friends and family over to break fast together or to get invited to other households. And this is a custom that I've really enjoyed in the past, but this year has been very, very different. At the start of this year's Ramadan, I made the decision to try to make healthier meal choices for both Iftar and Sahoor. And in trying to remain committed to that journey, I made the decision not really to go to other households to break my fast. I just didn't want to put myself up to any temptation. I didn't know whether I had the willpower to kind of stay committed to making healthier choices in what I ate. But today is a bit different. I was invited by a very, very good friend of mine that I've not seen in a very long time to break fast in her house. So I wanted to go because I know she's traveling very soon and I didn't know when we'd have an opportunity to catch up again. So I will be going to a friend's house to break my fast today. But I did tell her that I was on a healthy journey, and there was a proviso to me honouring that invitation, which was that I would come along with my own food. Now, this friend that I'm going to break fast with today cooks very well. Iftar in her household is like a banquet. Basically, it's like a durbar. So I know there's going to be a lot of food there and probably a lot of really fattening food. So I'm going along with my food today, and hopefully, I did tell her I was on this kind of journey, healthy meal journey, and also on a sort of green journey. So she did promise me that she would have some things made, some juices, some fresh juices made. So I kind of hope that I will be able to find one or two things that I will be able to eat there that will not take me away from the healthy choices that I'm trying to make. Now, what I have today is pasta. I'm not a big pasta person. I mean, I don't mind pasta, but it's just not one of my favorites. So pasta is not really something that I cook much of. But today I have pasta. What I have to eat for iftar today is whole grain pasta. It's actually whole grain penne. So I've cooked that. It's whole grain pasta, so it's likely to be a lot more healthy than just your ordinary pasta. So I boiled this whole grain penne, and together with that, I've made some sauce. Now, the way I make this sauce is more, by and large, the same way that I make bolognese sauce, but instead of using minced meat, I just used vegetables, different assortments a different assortment of vegetables instead. So I've got quite a lot of that. So I put that in a plate, but I will package that and go along with it to my friend's house, and I hope to enjoy it. I mean, I love spaghetti bolognese. Like I said, I'm not a big pasta fan, but I love spaghetti bolognese. So I've made this in the way that I make my usual bolognese, and I enjoy the way that I make my ordinary bolognese, so I hope that I will enjoy this. And together with that, I have an orange. This is one of those oranges that I get. I'm in Abuja I'm actually doing Ramadan, this year's Ramadan, in Abuja in Nigeria, the capital of Nigeria. And here in Abuja, there's an incredible farmer's market where you can get the most beautiful vegetables and fruit. And this is where I got this orange from. And I'm taking this orange along to my friend's house like this. When I get there, I hope to cut it up into quarters and then put it, of course, de-seed it, and then take the pips out and then put it into a fridge so that it's nice and cold. There's still about, I think, two and a half hours to go before iftar. So by the time I get to my friend's house, there will still be enough time for me to put this in the fridge so it'll be nice and cold. So I hope to have that together with my pasta today. And of course, sparkling water. We know that this journey there's got to be sparkling water. I mean, sparkling water I've always liked. It gives you that kind of fizzy feeling. And like I said, I've mentioned in other videos, it just makes you feel a lot more full. And anything that will make me feel full and not make me tempted to take anything else I'm going to take along in this journey. So I've got my sparkling water, and together with the sparkling water, I have my green juice. Now, this is not a lot of green juice because my friend did promise that she would have some other fruit juices, which I hope I'll be able to take. So this green juice, the ingredients are back to my favorite, which is just the vegetable-based one. I have spoken in the past, for those who have seen some of the other videos that I uploaded earlier on in Ramadan, the videos that I uploaded where I spoke about my preference of taking the vegetable-based green juice as opposed to the fruit ones or the combination of the fruit and vegetable. So this is a purely vegetable-based one made from kale, lettuce, cucumber, celery, and a bit of cabbage and a bit of mint. So that's what is inside this green juice. And I hope when I get to my friend's house, if she's got some pure fruit juice, I'll be able to take that as well. Now, this is the Suhoor. It's already been made. It's going to be probably put back. I'll put this back into the fridge and then bring it out early hours of the morning and heat that up. This is actually the one that I will be taking, even though I know I do speak about wanting to have things fresh. But this is, what I have here is suya. We call it in Hausa siri. So this is suya I've made together with, I put some masa. And masa, essentially what masa is rice cake. So we'll speak about rice cake another day. It's just a little bit of masa I have in there. But this is suya, and it's just beef suya. And I got it with some onions. And there's an incredible place here in Abuja. I think it's called the University of Suya. Now, he makes incredible suya. You know, he makes his suya very, very moist. And I actually learned how to make my suya, or actually I learned how to upgrade my suya from the way I used to make ordinary way of making suya to the way he makes it by keeping it very moist. But in keeping it moist, he uses a lot of oil. I use a lot of oil as well, but now I just make it with olive oil, and I put it in foil. After you start making the suya, you know, put it in foil, so it kind of preserves that moisture. You're able to preserve the moisture, and in addition, I bring out my onions because I love having suya with onions. So I bring out onions. I put a bit of the suya, a bit of the olive oil, and a bit of the ingredients used to make the suya. I put that on the onions and I cover that up in foil paper and put it back on the grill so that it's able to grill together with the suya. So what you have is the onions are also very moist at the same time. So I'm going to have this for Sahoor. I always like to take my suya with mustard. I know it's not very common. I've had a cook, or rather my first cook that I employed, actually made suya and then he would serve it with mustard. I never took suya with mustard growing up. I mean, suya for a house of Fulani, for someone from Katsina, it's just it's an ordinary thing. It's just an ordinary, common house of food that you have. So we've always grown up eating suya. But it was only when I employed my first cook, I saw him serve it with mustard. And I really, really liked the way it tasted, because I like the taste of mustard anyway. I like that sort of overpowering taste that you get with mustard. And this is probably one of the reasons why I really enjoy sushi, because when you're eating sushi, you take it with this really, really fierce mustard, and I just love that overpowering taste that I get. So I really am gonna enjoy my suya together with mustard. What this is actually whole grain mustard. So I've got that in there, it's just a little bit. So I hope to have that together with my suya for Sahoor. And together with that, I've got Zobo. Now, Zobo has become a very, very common drink for Nigerians. I think even beyond Nigeria now. But it's a drink that we, in the northern part of Nigeria, the Hausa and maybe the Hausa Fulani, it's just a very local drink that we have always had. And what Zobo is, it's made from sorrel leaves. And it's really nice. It's used to make other meals as well. We use it in making miyan taushe, pumpkin soup. The Hausa pumpkin soup, miyan taushe. Some people use sorrel. I use sorrel a lot when I'm in the UK, because I'm not able to take certain ingredients certain leafy ingredients to make toshi with. Um, um, what's the name of it? I can't remember the name of it in English. But because you can't really take it, it's not going to remain fresh because it's a leafy ingredient. So I take a long white sorrel. So sorrel is a good substitute when you're making pumpkin soup, the toshi, the Hausa pumpkin soup. Sorrel is a good substitute to put in there to give that sort of slightly sour flavor that is quite essential in toshi. So I use sorrel a lot. But Zobo we make from red sorrel. This is made from red sorrel. I mean, I've made Zobo before using the white sorrel, even though it still has that Zobo taste, that sour Zobo taste. It just, because it was white, it just doesn't have the same appeal that this red one has. So this is Zobo that was made. I've made it very healthy. Normally, Zobo is a healthy drink. But you know, now that they've kind of commercialized the way that they make Zobo, they use a lot of sugar in it. So it does not end up being as healthy as it originally is, as it's supposed to be. So I've made this Zobo the very traditional way, and I've not put a lot of sugar in there. There's very little sugar, and the sugar that is in there is actually brown sugar. And my mom has actually taught me how to make it using sugar cane. So just using pure sugar cane. And I think I'm going to experiment more with that and see how I can come up with different recipes of making Zobo in a very healthy and natural way. So this is Zobo that's going to go back into the fridge, and it's going to be nice and cold when I come out in the morning, when I wake up in the early hours of the morning to have my Suhoor. I'll have that together with my heated suya. So that is it for today. I'm going to pack this part up and get going, and I really, really hope, like fingers crossed, that I don't go and get carried away with my friend's food, because she's a genius at cooking. And even the food that is cooked in her house, everything that's cooked, I think, because she cannot employ a cook that doesn't cook as well as she does. So I know that there's going to be a lot of my eyes are going to be popping throughout the whole iftar, but I'm going to try my best to stay true and remain true to this journey. Hopefully see you guys on the journey as the journey continues tomorrow. Happy iftar to everyone out there when it is iftar. Let me get going and move over to my friend's house.